Okay, so I'm going to walk you through kind of what that video that just showed how to do regression line. Let's say I want to make a cube. I want to figure out the cubic equation that fits this shape here. So I have this kind of shape going on here. I think that might be a cubic graph, but I'm not sure how to find the equation that matches this. So one technique that you can do is that you can add a table, and then you can plot points on here that kind of matches up. Now this tell when it kind of curves almost parallel, almost perpendicular here, or straight up and down vertical. And this where it curves down right down, that's going to have to be done with a different equation. So I'm just going to look at this part in the middle. So let's say, okay, this is about, let's see, 8.5 maybe. So negative 8.5. And that looks to be about a negative 1. Let's zoom in so we can get closer. So I think I can get a little closer. That's a little off. So negative 1.1. So it looks like it's better fit on the line. And then you can move on to the next point. So let's go about negative 8. And at negative 8, it looks like it's down to about a negative 2.1. It's a little bit better. Okay. And then at negative 7.5, we appear to be about negative 2.6-ish, 5. That looks good. So negative 2.655. And then just continue doing this, counting off by a nice little interval. So I'm going to do every 0.5 for it. So you want enough data points that it kind of shows a good picture of what's going on. And just kind of see how I'm just playing with the points a little bit, the Y values, so I get one that looks pretty good to what it is. And this is just kind of how you would play on it. I'm going to go to about where it starts making that big curve. So this is probably going to be my last point. So something like that. Okay, so we can see that kind of shape, and it does look like almost a cubic shape. So I put in these points to kind of figure out that that's kind of what I want my cubic graph to follow. Then notice how this is x sub 1 and y sub 1. So here's how we're going to do our equation first to figure out what equation fits it. We're going to do y sub 1 equals, tilde, which is second tilde sign. And then we're going to do our cubic function, which is a x. That tilde sign doesn't look like it's showing up right. There it goes, tilde. Okay, and then we got ax cubed plus ax1 sub 1 cubic. And see, notice as soon as I do this, it starts to give me some regression information. This r squared tells me how well it fits. And an r value tells us what it works at. So we want to make sure this R square value needs to be between -1 and 1. And the closer it is to 1 or -1, the better the fit is. And so that's what we're going to try to be looking at and getting that. So now I need a bx sub 1 squared. So now I'm in closer to that -1, +1 thing, but still not good. I think it's more a cubic function plus d. And so now you can look at this and say, hey, now look at that curve that they have drawn. It follows pretty darn close. I mean, it gets a little bit off, but that looks pretty darn good for that piece. And then I can use another equation for the other piece. So I look at this, these are my parameters. So now I'm going to go down here and I'm going to write in my equation. Y equals a negative 0.036985 x to the third minus x to the third minus, and then 0.538741 x squared. And I'm just getting this from those parameters that's listed, minus 2.94409x plus, sorry, minus 9.97249. And that'll be, so now I have a cubic equation that fits. And so I can take that off and I can take my point off, and then I have this. And so all the thing that's left to do is to do my restrictions. I can restrict this from about, say, -8.5 is where we can start, because that's where my table started, until about -3.5. That's where my table actually started again. And then if you want to try playing with that, you might say, oh, maybe I can go a little bit past this. That's too far. Maybe I think I could, oh, no, too far. Not still, and then kind of zoom in and say, oh, it actually kind of follows it pretty good, even farther than I did. So I could start that there. And then we can look at the ending. Looks like a pretty good spot. I don't think this is going to get any better. See, it starts going off too much. Four, maybe. I can maybe go to 4, 3.4. That's probably about the furthest I'd want to go. And now I have that piece to my picture drawn. So I got that piece in. So that's another way that you can do this if you're having problems finding equations that fit. You can use that regression, and you notice it had a very high R square value. Well, what I mean by high, it was very close to 1 or -1, so it showed it was a good fit. That was a good choice. The cubic was a good choice there.